way up high in the Himalayas, something pretty incredible is taking shape. It all starts with this one, single, absolutely massive statue. But what's really interesting is that it's pointing the way toward a reimagined ancient path, one that could connect cultures, economies, and even entire nations. So, okay, let's dive right into this and see how this new vision for India's Northeast is really unfolding.
All right, so our journey kicks off in Sikkim at a place called the Buddha Park of Ravangla. And right away, you need to know this is not just another tourist spot. No way. Think of it more like a statement piece. I mean, look at that. It's set against the absolutely stunning backdrop of Mount Narsing, and it's really the symbolic anchor for a project that is just immense in its scale and ambition.
You know, the locals actually call it Tathagata Chal. Now, Tathagata is a special title for the Buddha, and it kind of means one who has arrived or one who has gone. It really speaks to this idea of a completed journey, right? A destination of enlightenment. And the vision here is for this very place to become the starting point for a whole new kind of journey for millions of people. And the scale here is just staggering. This statue towers 130 feet high. Think about that. It's made from 60 tons of copper. And get this, it took 7 years to build. Then, in 2013, it was consecrated by the 14th Dalai Lama himself. That one act pretty much immediately put it on the map as a globally significant spiritual site. But as impressive as this park is, and it is impressive, it's really just the beginning. It's a key piece of a much, much larger vision. We're talking about the Great Buddhist Circuit for India's Northeast. So let's figure out how this one monument fits into this huge national strategy. And yeah, this isn't just some idea floating around. This is official government policy now. A major initiative was actually announced in the union budget specifically to develop and connect these Buddhist heritage sites. The goal is really twofold. On one hand, you want to preserve all these ancient monasteries and temples, but at the same time, you're trying to build a totally world-class pilgrimage experience, complete with all the modern infrastructure you'd expect. So how big is this project? Well, it spans 6 states in the Northeast, and each one has its own really unique and deep Buddhist history. We're talking Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura. I mean, that's a huge, culturally rich part of the country. And the whole idea is to bring it all together under one single, unified plan for tourism and heritage. Okay, so here's the crucial point. This whole project, it's about so much more than just bringing in tourists. It's a really complex, multi-layered strategy. It has deep geopolitical and economic goals. We're actually talking about repositioning the entire region on the world stage. The whole strategy really rests on 3 main pillars. First up is cultural diplomacy. The idea is to use this shared Buddhist heritage to build bridges with neighboring countries, especially those in groups like ASEAN and SAARC. Second, you've got economic growth. Pretty straightforward. Create jobs, create opportunities, and turn the region into a major hub for spiritual tourism. And third, there's regional integration. This is about fully plugging the Northeast into India's Act East policy, which is all about building stronger economic and strategic ties with Southeast Asia. And this quote, this just perfectly sums up the grand vision. The sources we've looked at describe the Northeast's new role as a crucial cultural and civilizational bridge. You see, it's not just about paving roads, it's about connecting entire cultures. It's about using the peaceful, inclusive ideas of Buddhism as a kind of soft power diplomacy. Okay, so that's the big picture strategy, right? Now, let's zoom back in. Let's take a quick tour of some of the absolutely incredible places that are going to make up this sacred trail. And trust me, the historical and spiritual weight you find here is it's astounding. And this is really just a tiny glimpse. I mean, in Arunachal Pradesh, you've got Tawang Monastery, the largest in India. You also have Urjaling Monastery, which is the actual birthplace of the 6th Dalai Lama. Over in Sikkim, Rumtek is this huge center for Buddhist studies. And then there's Tripura, where recent digs at a place called Boxi Nagar are uncovering these ancient stūpas and monasteries. I mean, they're literally rewriting our understanding of the region's history. And this is just a stunning visual connection across time. Just look, on the left, that's the famous Shukhandi Stupa in Sarnath. And on the right, that's the stupa they just unearthed in Boxi Nagar in Tripura. See that similar square base? The brick design? It's almost identical. This discovery is huge because it's a real, tangible link. It proves this region was part of this huge Buddhist network for centuries. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Building a circuit like this is not going to be easy. Not at all. This region has faced some pretty significant challenges for decades, and if this project is going to succeed, those hurdles have to be tackled head-on.
One research paper called the region a lead starter in tourism, which is a pretty good way to put it. The biggest roadblocks have always been things like, well, not enough modern roads or communication, a really complex permit system that could be a headache for visitors, and of course, a lack of basic services like banks or good medical facilities, especially once you get into the more remote areas. These are the exact problems these new government plans are trying to fix.
So the big question is, how do you actually overcome all these challenges? How do you build that new civilizational bridge we talked about? Well, the answer seems to lie in a massive, really coordinated push to modernize the region's entire infrastructure and connect these sacred sites in a way that's never been done before.
And when I say modernize, I don't just mean paving a few new roads. No, this is a complete overhaul of connectivity in the region. The plan is to integrate everything. We're talking high-speed rail, eco-friendly local buses, modern city development, the whole shebang. The goal is to create a totally seamless and sustainable experience for travelers. So, let's look at where the money is going. A huge chunk of investment is for a new high-speed rail line connecting Varanasi to Siliguri, which is really seen as the gateway to the northeast. Then, to handle local travel, there's a fleet of 4,000 new electric buses, which is great because it's a greener, quieter way to get around. And on top of all that, there's a 5,000 crore rupee investment to upgrade key cities into modern economic hubs, so they're ready to handle all the new visitors. So when you step back and look at it, this is a truly monumental undertaking. It's trying to weave together spirituality, diplomacy, and modern economics all into one project. And that, of course, brings us to the final big question. Can a grand project like this really, truly balance the fast pace of modern development with the quiet, profound need to preserve such an ancient spiritual heritage? That's the real challenge, and that's the path India's northeast is walking right now.